Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Gentry and Sons, and welcome back to another video. So guys, today is going to be a special video. So Dewey, one of my veteran drivers, just got back in, him and Bryce. So Bryce has been out training. Bryce has been in the truck with Dewey for over a week now. When the shop burnt, we all decided that we're all going to make sure we get our CDLs. We all want to be able to drive the trucks. We all want to be able to use the trucks if we got to cover loads, the whole 9 yards. Everybody's got their license now. Everybody's getting trained. And what we're doing with the trucks is we're trying to get the trucks all in tip-top shape. 100% tip-top shape. I want good APUs. I don't want them to have to idle. I want the best fuel mileage. Like, I'm really putting a lot of effort into making this a really professional business. And you know, I'm used to running old junk stuff we got to make work, dodge the scales with. That's no longer the case. We're trying to make this a true professional business. If I'm going to share it out to the world and share with you guys how we come up from nothing, I'm going to share the whole way, and we're going to upgrade the company as we go. And that's where today's video comes in. So most of you guys know I've been looking for an APU for the green Coranado. We just put a new engine in it. I don't want it idling. I don't want that motor idled. I want it to, when it gets to the delivery point, shut it down, crank up an APU, and let it do its job. That's your air conditioner, your heat, your electricity, the whole 9 yards. These APUs really save your motor, because that idle time on a big engine like that is not good for it. Your oil consumption, you're using fuel. You're also putting wear and tear on your motor, very unnecessary wear and tear. Those motors are built to work at a certain RPM all day long. They're not built to just sit there and idle. So they're slobbering oil the whole 9 yards while they're idling. And like I said, you're using fuel. So we've been looking for a good APU. I went to the internet, I went to you guys, and every single one of you suggested green APU. So we reached out to green APU, and I told them, I said, I want the true experience for my drivers. You know, me as a YouTuber could have went up there and done a video. I said, I want to see my drivers. I want to see how they get treated. I want everybody in the world to see how they're going to get treated if they come and buy an APU from you. So that's what we did, and we're going to go figure out what that experience is, because Dewey just got back. The green Coronado just rolled in. It's over there getting fuel now. See, you made it back.
Yeah. It was a great experience up there, man. I recommend it anybody and everybody to go up there, man. It was really great.
So kind of tell me how it, as a driver.
As a driver, they treat you like kings. They'll order you lunch. If you got to stay over there more than a couple of days or more than a day, they get you a hotel room. They treat you like a person and not just a number or a customer or whatever. I mean, they
it was great when you guys sent me a picture of you out, you know, you eating that wild crazy food that they ordered.
Yeah.
I was like, what in the heck? They're on vacation out there.
Yeah. I told Dottie, I said, you don't know us very well. We're country-born redneck people, and you send us menus for organic this and non-gluten this, and I'm going, hey. But it was really good food, though.
Hey, she said you tried it, and
it was really good. Yeah, I was surprised.
So you got there, you got you a motel room?
Yeah, they hooked us up with a hotel room and everything, and then come and picked us up the next morning and finished the fabrication and install. And heck, even after we were done with the install, we still stood around and talked to them and everything for a good couple of hours, you know, because Chicago traffic, we figured we're going to hang out for a little while and not deal with it. So they hung out with us and talked with us and stuff, and you couldn't ask for better people.
Was there other drivers there getting stuff?
There was other drivers there getting service. A lot of them were services and stuff, and talking in their break room with them. Everybody had real good things to say about the units and everything. So I was very pleased to hear all of that, as well as some of the guys were just getting brand new installs, so they were able to get that information from feedback and stuff from other drivers as well.
Well, that is awesome. I'm glad it was a good experience. And what we're trying to do here, guys, is show y'all what it's like. Say if you need to send one of your trucks to get an APU put on it and your driver's out on the road, say their APU breaks down and you need a new one put on your truck. I've got to say, so far, Green APU has really impressed me. Their pricing's better than everybody else. I had no problem. There was no price shopping on this deal. You know, I'm not going to put anybody else down or put any other APU manufacturers down at all. But as far as looking for a good APU, good pricing, like if it tears up, it's normal. I mean, it's crazy.
There's some parts that are proprietary, like their belt system, you know, but it's all parts you can get from them.
Right.
You know, they make everything in-house. The only thing that's outsourced is the motor. Everything else is made in-house, which you'll see in the videos and stuff. They have CNC machines. They have to do powder coating. They do it all, you know.
Yeah, the parts guy, as soon as you guys left there, the next morning already messaged me setting up service. You know, like, hey, if there's any problems with this, or this.
Right.
And from what I hear, that's the way they are with everybody.
Right. Yeah, I mean, at first, I kind of thought maybe we were getting a little special treatment, but honestly and truthfully, they treat everybody that way. I've come to find out.
I actually talked to another driver that got an APU put on up there that was, I guess, seeing you guys there.
Right. Now,
he's the same thing. He said they treat you like kings.
Oh yeah, man. The thing that was a little different was the fact of on the APU itself is different from others, and they really stress this as being one of their top things. Is the APU is serpentine belt driven. It's not a single belt, so
really? You
have less belt failures and stuff. He says very rarely do they see anything come in with a belt failure. Like with the other ones, just single belt, V belt, I guess you would say. And of course they stretch and so forth and so on and break, but these don't. So
that is amazing. That's awesome.
That's the reason why their belt system is more proprietary because of that.
So I guess you've used it at this point a little bit.
Unfortunately, no.
So
we drove straight home from there, and then I went home, so I have yet to really use it. So I'm really going to start using it on the next trip,
which will be coming up pretty soon, guys. So he'll be headed out pretty soon, and we are going to get some videos testing this thing, using this thing. There is some other videos out there. I know Just Trucking has one. I know FSC has one on his truck. Bruce has one on the blue. His blue Peterbilt. So between them guys, seeing what them guys do with theirs, and I know Steve at FSC uses the holy crap out of his. Like, he uses that thing religiously. That guy's been driving for years with no AC or anything and no heat, and now he's living like a king with that thing on his cab over. So, you know, I was really doing a lot of research on who to use, because I'm about the industry. I'm about what works, what's cheaper, what's going to be easier for us to get parts for. You know, I'm looking for the best APU to possibly put on our trucks that's going to, you know, it's literally going to perform the best. Because we've had a lot of APUs on our trucks over the years, and 9 times out of 10, what's the problem?
Mufflers fall off, belts break, and the Freon leaks out of them.
Always go to kick them on. I've got so many calls from them saying, hey, APU problem. And
we do a lot of California, so therefore the APU is detrimental to what
we got to have it.
Gotta have it, or you wind up running the risk of getting tickets.
Yep. So we don't like to idle our truck, especially now Dewey's got a new engine in the Coranado. We don't want to idle it at all, really.
No. Try not to.
And this thing's supposed to keep your coolant warm, keep it from getting cold. Right. It's supposed to always maintain temperatures.
And one thing about it is, everybody thinks because the name is Green APU that it's battery operated. It is not battery operated. It is diesel operated. I think the literature I read on it, it does like a gallon of diesel for every 10 hours.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Versus 10 gallons of diesel.
Right.
Or 40. Yeah, we use probably more than that.
Yeah.
So, guys, I've not even got to see this thing. I've heard that they did a really good install on it. They did some modifications to the truck and made it look good. And I want to see it and hear it run and all that stuff. So while me and Dewey go over and get to the truck, we're going to let you watch the video from the install and them being up there and getting it all done. So we'll see you guys here in a few minutes. Wonderful day. I love Illinois weather.
Yep. Alright guys, so we got everything set up. Coronado's good to go. She's about to get back in the shop. We're gonna get a new APU on this thing. A green APU. Alright guys, so we just got the truck in the shop. They're just about ready to get started on it. They did take top deck plate off already. We are... Huh?
He's already underneath the bunk getting all the stuff out of there.
Oh, he's in the bunk already too. Very nice. But we're about to discuss a little bit the way we want it to look, get a game plan on what we want it to be. I think the new one's sitting over there. But we're gonna chat with them a little bit, get a game plan, and then start digging in.
We're gonna just
Okay.
cut everything, fit and mold.
Well, we love working on the Coronados. We have a whole way that we do this, as we were looking at the pictures before. But we're gonna basically modify the front door so that the left side, the right side here is gonna become the left side. And that'll allow us to extend this all the way out to about here with one single piece that just looks nice and clean. Then we'll take this side of the door and we'll do the same, and we'll fit it in right here. They'll all have the 90-degree edges, so it'll fill everything in perfectly, but we'll have full accessibility to the APU. We'll use the stainless steel front cover, so it'll match the whole look of the truck. And then on top here, we'll use the cap-off mount. So when you're working on the bolts and strapping things down, you can walk straight across the unit, right onto the top of the unit. So we'll get on it now. We'll start taking the sides off, see if we can straighten those out a little bit for you. I want to try to do everything I can. This is a bit mangled from when it was put on. I'd like to try to use these ends as much as possible, but they only left you with 2 of them. So I'll use those 2 and I'll put them out towards the outside so that at least what you see is going to be as clean as possible. Rivet those in. They'll go back in somewhere down here and they'll end up butted up right here.
Okay.
So
Now, will it be a little bit more sturdy than that one was? That one was pretty flexible.
if that one was flexible, they may not have put all the bolts in the holes properly right here, which I bet you is the case. Sometimes it's a little bit tricky once you take all this stuff apart to try to get these bolts back in these holes. I bet you they bolted it here and they bolted it there, which is easy. But if you don't get these bolts here like this, you're always going to be doing this. That might be why it is cracked.
Right.
So yeah, we will make sure that, because there's a support structure under here. Support structure is a little bit hard to line up, and that's why I know, but we've learned our lesson on that, and basically we just turn it over and it takes the pressure off everything, and just everything lines right up, and it's no longer a pain for us to do.
Gotcha.
So yeah, we'll get all that handled. We'll get the Thermal King off. There's going to be some holes in the floor that don't quite match up with that unit. So we use 3M seam sealer epoxy and aluminum patches, and we'll epoxy and rivet those patches in, and then try to reuse as much as we can, which may be the one large hole, but the two little condensation holes and things like that we'll and then as much as we can reuse going into your ductwork, we'll reuse as well.
As far as using the same holes?
Yep, all the same. Yeah, we don't want to cut anything we don't have to, but wherever there's a hole that we don't use, we will, seal it up properly.
One thing I noticed with this here, the bunk heater and the air conditioner coming out of separate.
Yes.
hoses.
So we don't use a bunk heater in our solution.
Okay.
Our APU provides the heat and the AC through the APU itself. So it's very dependable. You don't have to worry about whether your bunk heater is going to ignite after a whole summer not working. It's just using the hot coolant, just like every car and truck on the road. So it makes it very, very dependable, works every time, produces a heat that's very comfortable inside of the truck, not that really high, very hot, dry.
That's what we were running.
Exactly.
And we were talking about that this morning.
That you won't have that. It'll feel just like when you idle your truck. And that's our approach. We take an automotive approach with everything. It keeps our costs down because we're able to use widely available automotive parts that you can get at stores everywhere. And then it's just a proven approach. You know, when every car company's doing it that way, there's probably a reason. But when you start using some other things like electric AC compressors or electric heaters or the bunk heaters, those tend to be the things that start to become problematic. Everything I notice is as long as you keep it simple, it works, and if you do have to work on it, it's affordable because we're using parts that are on millions of cars around up and down the road. So with the supply chain issue, it's really been a blessing really in disguise to us because our parts are just so widely available. It hasn't been an issue.
And with the Kubota motor?
The Kubota engine has been rock solid as well. Anytime I ever talk to somebody, like at a trade show or just a customer here, and they have experience with Kubota, they always say great things at Kubota tractor or whatever they have, and they've been great engines from us. We've used a couple manufacturers before. We always had these little issues, they didn't run right, they had seals going back and whatever. The Kubota, none of those issues. You'll get your starters and alternators and things like that once in a while, but no, just known issues, no problems. They're just rock solid.
Good deal. That's what we like to hear. Rock solid at Gentry and Sons. Build them to last.
Absolutely. So we'll get on it. And
so you guys make all your wiring harnesses in-house and everything?
Yeah, we can give you a tour of that. I'd like to show you our CNC area as well. We build a lot of the components for the unit in-house here. So that's some things we can go take a look at now if you'd like. All right.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thanks.
All right, so this is our unit we're going to be putting on the unit?
This is your unit, and everything needed to hook the unit up is right here. So typically, for our all of our distributor customers, we would send this in a nice package, but this is being done right here in our factory shop, so we just transport it in these reusable containers. But this has all of your coolant hoses, so this is going to be the one that's going to go to your main engine. You have your main wiring harness. So again, we'll go take a look at how we make this, but this is all made in-house. We have machines that do a lot of that. But everything, all of your battery cables, all of your, we use this for our hoses that go through the floor. Everything you need, basically an APU in a box. You have this, and then you have your HVAC unit, and that's gonna be in this box here. So between the installation kit, the APU, and your HVAC, you have your whole system.
Timmy's gonna love this. He loves clean wire loom, quick connects.
Absolutely.
So
this is something really cool as well. So we could manufacture on the CNC here, whatever size of your frame, we could adjust this to your specification as well.
really? Well, that's awesome.
So we get heavy haul frames where it's a double frame. Maybe the two layers are pretty tight. Maybe it was done aftermarket and they got a big gap. So something like our stock mounts, it's really hard to even plan. But we have our CNC machines here. We can usually get them made in a half a day. By the time we're ready to use them, they're already made. And yeah, we'll go take a look.
Yeah.
So here's where we build a lot of the parts that we do in-house. All of our fittings, you see here, these will be fuel fittings. All of our serpentine belt system, where we have pulleys similar to this. This goes on our alternator. All of those things are made here. It's a little tight right now, so it's not the best looking area, but that's because we're getting this whole new extension ready, and all these machines will be moved into there, and there's going to be several more added to them. That's quite the process. These machines really have to be calibrated so perfectly, and just moving them is a time consuming. You got to lock everything down and move them. Takes some time.
Growth is progress.
Yes, absolutely.
cutting right now?
Here you see just raw aluminum blocks. They've been cut from a large length to short little lengths, and these are going to be the blocks that mount the APUs to the truck. These are pretty simple machine parts, but we have much more complex.
But this is also made out of one piece, so there is no breakage in the future. When you're talking about like the grooves in itself, if you feel it, it's all aluminum, but it's also made out of one piece, hence creating this to withstand all the movement of the truck and everything else.
When we do our serpentine belt design, this is basically the core of that. Serpentine are the spring tensioner mounts to this, the compressor mounts to this. So this is the crux of this. This actually will go to anodizing, where it will be hardened and it will look more like this in the end. This is how we divert our coolant between the main engine and the truck. We use this insert between the thermostat housing and the engine, so it'll go inside and outside based on the temperature. For our oil changes, initially these Kubota engines come with kind of a small oil filter, and it's horizontal to the truck. Makes it a little difficult to get at, a little messy. So we relocate that 90 degrees, and it allows us to put a bigger oil filter, and that's been one of the things that's allowed us to extend our service time to 1,000 hours.
Can our shop service the engine, or does it need to come to one of the dealers?
No, your shop can service the engine as well. As far as our warranty coverage, we work with local shops quite a bit. Even owner-operators who are comfortable working on things themselves, we can send you parts directly. In certain cases, we can reimburse you for your labor, because downtime is the biggest thing. You know, a warranty is one thing, but even if you get it replaced or fixed for free, but if it takes you 2 days downtime, it costs you 2 days of income. And so that's what we always have to, keep in mind. Coming from a trucking background, being a company that was started by truckers, that's our first and foremost, thought. So, I had a customer that's going to be in California in an area quite a ways from everything. So Thursday, my boss, the general manager of the company, he got right on the phone. I did as well. We found a shop 5 miles away from him that's going to be able to take him in tomorrow, which lines perfectly with his schedule. So we always, go above and beyond and work directly with all of our customers, no matter what the needs are.
And we promote the 24/7 tech support, definitely.
Right. So that a lot of times is myself or Adam, our engineer. We're going to be the ones on tech support. So it's not somebody, overseas or somebody that doesn't know what they're talking about. We've both been with the company for a long time. So you're talking, with the right people, hopefully.
It's always nice to have 24 hours, especially because the trucking industry is a 24-hour industry.
Absolutely.
So if you have to wait till 8 o'clock in the morning to call somebody, well, it could be 100 degrees outside.
Mm-hmm.
You're in California where you can't out on your truck.
Right.
APU, you want to know.
And a lot of times if there is an issue with the APU, there are workarounds we can do. So, just working with you, I can kind of guide you through doing this, doing that, kind of disabling a sensor temporarily, something like that, so that you can get by, because you really depend on these units. And that's the kind of service that you're really only going to get from Green APU. I have people call our tech support line looking for service or looking for troubleshooting help on a Thermo King or a Carrier, and they're just not going to get that service. They're going to tell you briefly to go to the shop and we'll take a look at it. So we'll do everything we can to try to troubleshoot with you over the phone. Anything we can to try to get you work around or fixed on the road, send a part to you. We really kind of go above and beyond. Look at that as one of our core competencies that we really try to stress.
Customer service and quality.
So that over there was your shop area where you work on everything and
That's where we
have the
install
trucks
all
come
of our
in?
units. It's our factory shop, so we do warranty repair there as well as all of our service centers across the country and our distributors. Our parts department is right here, so we have our online store, as well as walk-in or phone customers. all of our parts for our Kubota unit, and then our legacy units from Perkins and Yanmar. They're all stocked here. So whatever you need, we pretty much always have it in stock. Just beyond this is our wiring harness area. So, like with our CNC machines, as much as we can do in-house, we do. And that's just proved very beneficial with all the supply chain crunch and things like that. We're not going out to some other company or overseas for anything. We get our engines from Japan through Kubota, but aside from that, we're building everything here in-house. So this is our wiring harness, and it starts off bare wiring here, or raw wiring in all of these drums, and goes through this machine here to kind of put together a lot of the subcomponents. So Philip, he's working on kind of assembling the long harness and getting all those wires, which have already been prepared by the machine, getting them all ready to be bundled into an actual wiring harness. There you'll see there's some that have been rejected. So this machine is going to x-ray and scan every one of the parts it produces, and if anything's not entirely perfect, it winds up in that reject drum.
So this machine can see inside the wiring sheath if there's like a broken wire or something?
And so those would be another wiring harness. A lot of these here are the components we call our shorter harnesses. So they already are prepared with all of the ends. Some other processing is going to be done in these sections back here. And then once the harnesses themselves are complete, they go on our test station. So even though, you know, there's quality control throughout, you still have that quality assurance afterwards, where they go on to a test machine and it tests them for continuity and amperage, throughput, and everything like that. So they get a pass-fail, and once they pass, they go into our inventory.
Yeah,
Very
it's
nice.
Mondays. Never good.
Monday.
She's waking up slowly, you know. Like, Wednesday she's at a peak, you know, like she's making the most.
All right, so what's her name?
Huh?
What's her name?
Oh, it's enough.
There you go.
Not over here.
These are kind of our pre-assembly stations where we're putting together subcomponents. This particular is our serpentine belt systems being put together here. So some of those things that we saw being assembled or being created in our CNC machine area are now being put together here. Our sidewalls for our unit, so we have our condenser sidewall and all the hoses, those are all being put together and being made ready for our assembly line. We have our other sidewall here, so that's going to have all of our wiring and everything that we've seen being made over in our wiring harness section. Here the spring tensioner we talked about again, Nissan Pathfinder part, so very easy to source, widely available. You'll find it at any auto parts store. And then all of these. This is your water pump pulley, made here in-house, hard anodized, billet steel, billet aluminum. And as we focus on automotive parts, our condenser is based on a Honda Civic part, so very affordable. And then we make our own ends so that it works with our AC system. So these ends here were made in-house, but the condenser itself, so Honda Civic standard condenser that works very well, and it's very, price point is perfect. Over here we're making our wiring. So even down to all of these little wires these are ground wires that are going to go between the chassis and the engine and things like that. All of these are made in this section. We have a hydraulic crimper that makes all of those hydraulically. So
Very nice.
when you see the end result of that, the way that the wires almost becomes one piece, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And those are, again, kind of things, if you have a bad crimp a couple years down the line, you know, you're down and out. So we do everything we can to prevent those kind of things and, you know, invest in the machinery to do so.
That'd be nice to have one of these machines, man. I crimp all mine by hand with a
Yeah.
little Napa hand tool.
And we did that for a while, but it's just part of the growth process and just getting better and better. So this machine here will cut all these wires to length. So that's what these are. That machine just kicked out a bunch of wires to length. These are our main battery cables. Now we take those, use this machine, put the ends on them, and get them made to their final assembled state with all the loom on them, all the heat shrink on them, the ends marked for their length and their gauge. These are ready to go on.
Very nice.
We also make all of our own inverter cables. So we use a thicker gauge for that. So now we're gonna have our 1/0 gauge 7-foot cables, and we use 2/0 when we go 10-foot. Very rarely do you want to do that, but when you do,
There are times that we need to.
so cabling is the biggest thing with inverters. I've found like most inverters are okay, regardless of the brand. You just got to use the proper cables, and if not, then it's
Yeah, we already have a new version on the truck, so I guess we just reuse that one.
yep, it works perfectly with our system.
So we just got done eating lunch. Green APU is generous enough that we can come to they provide lunch for you. So we just got done eating lunch. We're gonna head over to the truck again, get a little update, see how far they're coming along, and figured we'd take you guys with us. Lunch was good. I had a calzone, which was amazing, and they got a real nice spot for everybody to stay. Little driver's lounge. Got showers, bathrooms, everything. So super nice place. They've been super nice so far. Really helpful. Awesome people to work with. So let's go get an update of the truck. There we go. That truck's going pretty good. Got the old APU off. All the skirting off. Running all new hoses and everything.
Hey, everything's going real well. We're working on the rear tail section, and just like how I kind of suspected, we found that these two rear bolt holes were never reinstalled. This was installed before. So that really provides all the structure. There's angle braces that go between here and here. So this whole thing is moving. So you can see it's cracked all through here. From the back, it's all cracked as well. So we put the bolts in, and then I also added 3 more bolts through here to tie the whole thing together, because just to make the most out of what the strength that is there. So I think it'll be in much better shape now, and it'll be pretty solid once we get the step on it. Because this is just bent, this is just shaking from back here. But the overall structure of it all tied together very nice now. Took the whole step and relocated the last 2 of the end caps. All we had to work with. But those have been relocated, and I had to rivet them in. Usually they were kind of spot welded in from the factory, but this will be much better than it was. So that's going to go right in this section. Basically right there. And so that leaves us with having to take this piece and make a replacement that's longer, and that's going to come all the way over here. We don't want to just put this here and piece another one in and have a seam or anything like that. So I'm going to use the door that I have back here, all kind of prepped up as far as everything on the back has been cut off. And basically I'll just take this, and I know this has to be a little bit longer, so I'll cut this to a new piece that's going to be somewhere like that, and remount that there, and it'll all kind of look like one standard piece. I'll use the other side to create a filler on here. So, but that's all going well. Tim's tying into the truck over here, and then we're just holding off on putting the APU on while we work through these things.
Fat stuff.
Right. No sense in having it in our way. So let's let it sit over there until we're ready.
Exactly.
Yeah, going great.
Excellent.
Alright guys, welcome back, day 2. We're back at Green APU, just got here from the hotel, checking on the truck. They've got the APU mounted, and that side plate They've done a little bit of fabrication work already, as you can see. They got this plate here done. They got a little more fabrication to do, it looks like. Got some more lines to hook up. Those are these mounts, holeless mounts that they use, that we saw, that they cut with their own CNC machine. Really cool. So still got the skirting to do, got a few more lines to run, in the bunk as well, but very nice. Ties into the stock system, air ductwork. So there she is, the new green APU. That thing looks good.
Oh wow, they did do a magnificent job doing that. Holy crap.
They put a step up there. He explains it in the video what they did. Remember, it had that door?
Yeah.
They took the door, put the right side of the door here. This is the right side of the door. This is the left side of the door.
So they just fixed it all up to...
Used our own parts and molded it to fit. Because they want to try to leave as much of this area open as they could.
That way you can get air and all that
Right.
stuff. And that's really a clean install. And this is those pieces they were talking about?
Yeah, they manufacture the whole pieces and everything.
Daggone. Oh, ain't that just fancy?
Kubota.
Man, I like that belt system. I do. I see what you're talking
Yeah.
about. A lot of this stuff is just simple, very, very simple built.
Yep.
Very clean and sleek, actually.
Yeah, see, this is the piece that they manufacture to make it a serpentine.
Yep. No, I like that. I definitely like the serpentine part of it. And I like seeing this easy to get sand and AC compressor.
That's something else that they say is they try to do everything to where it's easily accessible.
Because that was the problem we were having with our other one, is the AC compressor was like, what, $900?
Yeah.
And we literally was keeping AC compressors on the shelf for our other APUs because it was always a problem leaking. Even Travis has got one right now he can't use because of the
Compressor.
Yeah, his compressor's leaking Freon. So awesome to see that sand and AC compressor. That is a big win for me right there.
Nothing on the back of the truck either.
It looks a lot better. We got to get it cleaned up now. But
Yeah. Well, the trip we went out on, we had all 4 seasons. We left out, it was kind of summer. Then it turned to like fall weather, cold and rainy. And then we got in the snow and ice. And then it just poured rain on us for like a whole day. So we were going to get everything washed before we took it up there. But with all that going on, we just decided we'd wait. And haven't had a chance to take it up there yet.
man, I am really, really impressed. Let's leave that off for a second. I want to see this thing run.
All right.
Ooh, fancy.
And it's got a 24/7 battery monitoring system. So even if you're not running the APU, it monitors the batteries while it sits here.
It takes 30 seconds and then it starts up.
So as long as that's on, it always keeps the batteries charged.
Yeah. They were
That's-
telling us the story of a gentleman that went on vacation for like 3 or 4 months, and they left it up there, and about every 3 or 4 days, the engine was cranked up. It was an old truck, old batteries. He got back 4 months later, jumped in and fired it right up.
Man, that's awesome. There she is, boys. Sounds like a tractor. Sounds like a Kubota tractor.
Yeah.
And Kubota tractors last forever. The motors usually outlast the tractors.
Yeah.
And that is pure freaking awesome. They did a good job wiring it up and all the hoses running up. oil tank. That's where it gets its diesel.
Yeah.
They did a nice job installing it.
That's one thing they tried themselves to install.
Yeah.
And they've only got one hole going into the bunk. They filled in all the other holes that were in there for the other engineers.
So cleaned it all up and
Sealed all the holes up and everything.
I bet, is the AC pretty good on it, I bet?
If you set your temperature, this will heat or cool. So if you go to bed in Las Vegas and it's 110, it'll cool you down to whatever, but when it's 30 degrees at night, it'll switch over to heat automatically.
So you don't have to go in and switch it.
Nope, it'll give you whatever temp you want it at. And it heats by using coolant from the truck rather than a heater core underneath the bunk.
Man, that's awesome. Yeah, I love to see that there's no heater core on it. Just a simple condenser and a fan, that's it.
This here is a special install. You have to ask for this.
Okay. So this right here? So you can step on it?
Yeah, you can step on it. You have to ask for this here.
And you know what would be cool? If those things had air on them, where it keeps the trucks aired up. I didn't even think about that. That would be awesome. Yeah. Just have a little air pump. It always keeps the truck aired up and maintained. I wonder if that's an option. We need to talk to Green APU.
That might be something they're already doing in R&D.
Yeah. That is cool, guys. So I'm pretty tickled with it.
You get the cover either this way or you can get it in cover to black.
It's already getting cold in here. Wow. Dude, that's crazy. It's already cold.
Oh yeah.
.1 bolts on the battery. That's pretty cool.
So you can see your battery voltage, you can see your coolant temp from there, everything like that. So if your batteries get low, it'll start, and if your coolant temp gets too low, it'll start as well. Keep your engine warm.
So dude, you ain't even got to worry about having a cold engine when you go this winter.
I know it.
Battery charger. Oh yeah, 170 Fahrenheit on the coolant. Dude, that is so cool.
Dude, that AC is cold.
It is. It really is.
That feels so good.
Oh, and it uses, instead of like with the others, you wind up having to have ductwork come out of your floor.
Yeah.
It runs into the truck's ductwork.
Yeah,
So-
see, that's what I just noticed that.
So you can have it coming through your truck vents instead of on the floor.
Right.
I always hated the ones that come on the floor.
Yeah, because it's just.
I mean, no matter how well you keep your floor clean, you still got dust and dirt, and all
Yeah.
it does is just blow that dust and dirt all over the truck.
Yeah. No, I definitely like that it's coming out of that vent. That's
Yeah.
Or yeah, that vent. That's going to
There's
keep
one
you.
at your head.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, they took it out. I'm sorry. That one they took out. There was one on the closet,
Yeah.
but they took it out.
I mean, that right there has already got the truck good and cool.
Yeah. And it's what? It's well, 75 degrees here,
Yeah. I mean,
but still.
no longer it's been running.
It-
They did say when they seen it was a Coranado, they were so excited
They
about
were,
it.
because they actually get to fabricate instead of just, bolt on and go.
Right.
He got to do some fabricating too.
And they did an awesome job
Yeah.
fabricating.
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
They showed us a couple other designs that they had done on some other trucks and let us pick which style we wanted to go with. And
Yeah.
dude, it turned out awesome.
Yeah. That was
And
best.
That's a super happy with it, guys. We got warranty with it. It is a 2-year, 3,000 hour warranty on that baby. 3,000 hours, that's a long time.
Yeah, it is.
It takes a while to get up to 3,000 hours. So I mean, it would take every bit of 2 years to get that. But I've got a good feeling that this unit's gonna. We're definitely gonna get to test it. We're gonna get to show you guys what it's all about. You know, and that's what they ask of us. Hey, we want your honest, true opinion of it. You know, this is a real life representation of green APU. This ain't some just promotional deal. We're truly taking a green APU and we're going to test it and show you guys what it's all about. And I'll tell you right now, I am 1000%, like, they went well beyond, just as in their customer service, well beyond what I even imagined. And treating drivers, that's where I was really looking to, that was my main first test.
Truck runs 4,000 to 5,000 miles a week.
Yeah, so
it don't set long.
And I think that the fact that they treat just your normal drivers like kings. I mean, and that's from what I hear, they treat everybody like
everybody's special. It's not just us because of the YouTube or anything like that. Everybody's treated that way.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's so many comments on YouTube already saying, "Hey, Green APU, man, their customer service is amazing.
Yeah.
They treat people amazing." So that is why we went with Green APU, and the fact that it's simple, the price is, I mean, that right there, I was wondering, I'm like, man, that's such a good price. And the fact that we got the Kubota engine, that's another thing that seals the deal for me. The Sandin simple AC compressor that literally, right now I know where 40 of them air compressors are, because my Peterbilt's got that same air compressor on it. Robert's got like 40 of them sitting in his shop floor up there in boxes. So if we ever have any problems with the AC compressor, it's a simple $100 and something AC compressor. You ain't got to break the bank to fix it. And the fact that the heat and all that stuff just runs off the truck too, that's they definitely simplified it for sure. So,
and looks like we'll be doing some truck shows with them.
yeah, we'll definitely be going and seeing them at truck shows, and I think this thing would look great pulling their trailer. I really do. Green Coranado
with the green APU
Yeah.
trailer. We didn't get a chance to see their show trailers because they were at the rallies.
Yeah.
You know, because of the rally car. So,
Oh yeah, they do have the rally car. Yeah.
yeah, they were at a rally with the rally car. So we didn't get a chance to go in it or look at it.
Well, we'll have to. We'll definitely have to check that out. I don't know what our first show is going to be, guys, but I will definitely let you know. We've got a very busy schedule this year, but you know, we'll get with Green APU and kind of let you guys know when we're going to be there and what we're going to be doing. But I'm ready to test this thing out. Dewey will be taking videos here and there, and you know, we'll be giving feedback on it, and if we have any issues out of it or anything like that. But I've got a good feeling about this thing. I don't think we're going to have any issues.
No.
I think
that Kubota engine just seals the deal.
yeah, I think we're in good shape. But I'm gonna let these guys get to work. I've got some things to do. That's gonna finish off today's video. I love you guys, and I'll see you later.